This video is brought to you by America First Insight. Help support the growing conservative movement by becoming a member today. And if you want to support this channel, you can also use the code REAL when becoming a member. Thank you and enjoy the video. As everyone knows, the Democrat Party is in a real bad situation. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that assessment. I mean, guys, right now the party's favorability is at a record low. It's like 21% or whatever. And it seems like every single day it goes lower, which I don't know how that's possible. I mean, guys, like 30 to 35% of Americans are Democrats. So you would think their floor would theoretically be like 30%. Yet right now, according to basically every poll, they're at like 21 to 25%, which is crazy. But by some miracle, it seems like it's getting even worse. As a little while ago, we just got brand new voter registration numbers out of North Carolina, which I want to be clear about one thing. Voter registration is not everything. It can be misleading, I get that. But back in 2024, it accurately predicted what happened in Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, even states like New Jersey and New Mexico. There were big swings towards the GOP in voter registration, and look what happened. Trump did very good across the board. So it's not everything, but it is a good indicator. And well, in the last week, Republicans have had a net gain of 788 voters. And I know it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Like, okay, it's North Carolina. It's a state that Trump won by like 3 to 4 points in 2024. You know, it's a state that has been leaning Republican for the past like 20 years. What's the big deal? Well, for starters, despite the fact that Republicans have won it every year since 2008, Democrats still have a registration advantage in the state. Yeah, they still do. They still have a registration advantage. Now, it's a lot smaller, but right now, it's only 22,000 voters, so it's still a lead. But compared to like 10 years ago, Democrats led by a huge amount. It was like 300,000 voters, yet even back then, they couldn't win North Carolina. They just couldn't. But now, their lead is basically gone, and probably by the end of the year, it flips. So, if Democrats couldn't win North Carolina 10 years ago when they had a huge advantage, why do people think they're going to win it in 2028 or in the future? Why? And the reason I'm making a big deal about this is you would think that a state like North Carolina, which is a swing state, but it does lean to the right, it's very difficult for Dems to win it, but it still is a swing state. You would think that with it being a swing state that, yeah, leans to the right, but Democrats have been banking on for years, you would think, especially under Trump, these registration trends that have been happening for the past 15 years, you would think it would slow down just a little bit. I mean, guys, usually the party in the White House, right now the Republican Party, they tend to do awful in voter registration. That tends to happen. Every time they're in power, no matter which party, they tend to do pretty bad in registration. That's usually what happens. But right now, we're not seeing this anywhere. And I'm using North Carolina because it's the most updated numbers, and it's a state that Democrats could still theoretically win. Yet right now, we're not seeing any signs of Democrats surging. In fact, it's the opposite. It's Democrats actually collapsing in North Carolina, which is crazy because you would think that 2024 was the ceiling. That's been the argument for the left. That, oh, Trump won in a fluke in 2024. He reached their ceiling. That's best case scenario. Okay, if that's the case, shouldn't we see some kind of slowdown in voter registration? Which, again, it's not everything, but voter registration is a great indicator. It tells us how things are going. Because if people are becoming Republicans, do you think they're going to vote Democrat? Some might, I guess, but 95% of these people that are becoming Republicans, they're going to vote Republican. So that's why it's a big deal. It's not every time, I'm not saying that. But right now, the trends are looking awful for Dems. And it seems like it's actually getting worse. Every single week the past like 3 to 4 weeks, the Republican number keeps going up. A couple weeks ago it was like plus 686. Last week it was 695. Now it's up to 788, which is the highest since I think the middle of March. Which again, Republicans did kind of bad in April because the trade war stuff. I think there was they cleaned up the voter rolls a little bit. But outside of that, Democrats have been getting killed every week. In fact, the trends are actually reversing. So, how can Democrats say, oh, the Democrat Party is surging and Republicans are actually collapsing? If that was the case, we should be seeing this in voter registration. We're not. We're seeing the opposite. We're actually seeing Republicans, they're the ones surging, while Democrats, they're imploding. Again, voter registration is not everything, but it makes sense why it's so bad. Republicans may not be popular, but compare the GOP to the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party right now has what? A 25% favorability? If that? That's like best case scenario? Yeah, I wonder why Democrats are losing supporters. It's as if when you take these insane positions on everything, not just trans stuff, but immigration, on even the drug stuff now. Now they're against drug pricing reform? They're against that now because Trump said so? Are you serious? Gee, I wonder why you're losing. People don't like Republicans, but compared to Democrats, at least you could say, well, they're not as hated. They're not as hated as a Democrat Party, and they're not batshit crazy. At least the GOP sometimes gets something right. Once in a while, they might get something right. Democrats, meanwhile, it's whatever Trump does, they do the opposite. If he says secure the border, they say open it up. When he says, hell, he could say clean up the environment, and they'll say, no, we must pollute the environment even more. Yeah, it's not looking good for Dems. And even in April, when they were supposedly having that surge, we did not see that. There was like 1 week where they had a small gain, but that was because of I believe they cleaned the rolls up a little bit, so it's not really a real gain. And outside of that, they still got killed in April. But now in the month of May, post-trade war, which trade war is basically over, it's actually getting worse for Dems. Trump's approval is going back up. The Republican popularity, it's not good, but it's still at least stable. Democrats, meanwhile, they keep going down. Their messaging sucks. They have no clear leader. Compare that to the GOP. You may not like Trump, you may not like the GOP, but at least you know that the GOP is led by Trump. And right now, President Trump is the most popular politician in America. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a fact. What, do you think Hakeem Jeffries is popular? Do you think Chuck Schumer's popular? People want Chuck Schumer gone. Now some Democrats, they want Jeffries gone because he's not supporting, or he's not opposing Trump enough, which is crazy, but that's the Democrat base now. They want older people gone for the dumbest of reasons. At least the GOP, they have Trump. They have Vance. They have Rubio. They have people that they can look at to say, okay, this is the leadership in the GOP. Democrats don't got that. In fact, there's a poll earlier from, I think, Jail Partners, and they did a primary poll. And Trump is, or I should say Vance is first with 46% of the vote, even though you have people like Rubio, Ramaswamy, DeSantis on the ballot, which are big names. None are cracking more than 10%. It's clear the party is behind Vance. Clearly. And the Democrat Party, meanwhile, Harris is at 30%. Despite the fact that she was the nominee not even 6 months ago, she's barely cracking 30. And there's been a bunch of polls out there indicating she may not be at 30%. She may be in the mid-20s. Vance, meanwhile, despite never being the nominee, yeah, he was a VP nominee, but he was never the presidential nominee, he's still getting like 45, 46, 55% of the vote. And I guarantee you the rest of those undecideds, they're going to vote for Vance. So the party is behind Vance for 2028. They love him. They love Trump. They like Rubio. Democrats, meanwhile, they're divided. Every other week, they pick a brand new person to support. Every week, it's somebody different. It was Cory Booker, then it's AOC, then it's Bernie, now it's Harris again. Now it's going to be the guy from New Jersey. I don't know. They keep picking somebody different every day. And they wonder why they're losing. They're wondering why they're getting killed in, say, North Carolina. It's as if people don't like you. It's as if people realize that the Democrat Party, they're insane. They don't stand for anything. Actually, they do. They do whatever Trump does and do the complete opposite. That's their problem. They don't have any positions. It's just Orange Man bad. Which, yeah, that might help with the Orange Man bad people. Problem is, that's not the majority of the vote. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Trump, but they're not Orange Man bad where they change all their beliefs because of one thing he says. No, they just say we don't like Trump, but we're not going to change my entire worldview because I hate him. No, that's not the average person. The average person is actually giving Trump a chance. And you look at more of the numbers, I really believe that if he gets trade deals done, which he basically has, he's working on it with China, Japan, etc. If he gets those done, he gets the war done in Ukraine and Israel, he's going to surge. His popularity is already going back up. Republicans, despite being incompetent, they're going up as well. If he gets all this stuff done, what do Democrats have? They're already getting killed now. When theoretically, this should be Trump's weakest state. Right now, this should be when Trump's at his most unpopular, which I would still argue the negative 20 crap is bullshit. But still, if there was a real Democrat surge, we would be seeing it. We are not seeing any kind of surge. We're seeing the opposite. But Democrats are not going to accept it. They're just going to pretend everything is fine. We're actually having a magical surge that no one sees. It's completely invisible. But we're going to win in 2028 because Orange Man bad. That strategy doesn't work anymore. So we'll see what Democrats do. But if I'm being completely honest, I think they're kind of cooked. If they don't change course now, I think they're in trouble. They're getting killed at voter registration still in places like North Carolina, New Jersey, New York. They're getting killed everywhere. And the news coming out about Biden is going to make things worse because it's proving that, yeah, the Democrat Party, they knew about Biden's health, how bad it really was, and they lied about it. They lied about it to the American people, and people are going to say, this is bullshit what they did. We can never trust these people ever again. I mean, they covered up the president's decline. They covered it up. And they called anyone that said he was on the decline a conspiracy theorist. It's all a grand conspiracy. Gee, I wonder why you're unpopular. I just wonder why. I know I say it a lot, but this party is in trouble. And they won't accept it. So let them die. Let the Democrat Party die because it's clear they don't want to change. Even though every metric, whether it's approval, favorability, voter registration, even some generic ballot polling, is not looking good for Dems. Right now, it's not looking good. So, what metrics are they looking at? That is showing a positive outlook for Dems. There is none. But they're insane. That's what it comes down to. These people are absolutely insane. They have no clue what's going on. So we'll see what happens the next couple of years. I really believe that they're not going to change course, which is going to make things even worse. But the fact that the voter registration is getting even worse for Dems should be a big alarm for them. This should be the period where they see a surge, any kind of hope. But they're not. They're seeing the opposite. They're seeing things get actually worse, which I didn't think was possible. I thought last year that's worst case scenario. But they found a way to sink even lower. And there's a chance if the Biden stuff's as bad as they're saying it is, this party could sink even more. Which I didn't even think was possible. Like I was saying, I don't know how it's possible to sink this low, but the Democrat Party found a way to lose so badly that 2024 might look like a good election for them in a couple of years. Yeah, I said that. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.